Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm going to give a short insight into, I can say, interdisciplinary topic about olive heritage and olive heritage, but with these implications to olive tourism or oleotourism, how it's nowadays called. This paper actually examines conceptual and practical aspects of designing tours and experiences focused on olive heritage in Montenegro. But there is limited development of conventional olive experiences in Montenegro in spite of rich and diversified olive heritage. So that's the main dilemma: why digitalize something when the conventional tours and experiences are not still fully developed, or they are practically in developing. But as the title says, why not? Because the key obstacle of development of olive experiences and olive tours is actually lack of audience and the lack of visitors, which primary motive is olive heritage. Unfortunately, our concept of tourism is still based on 3S, sense, see, sun, and similar mass tourism concepts. So due to that fact and due to the dominance or predominance of those segments or niche markets, then on the other side we lack visitors that can be interested in something that's more selective, more specific, more diversified, such as olive experiences. In spite of rich heritage, first of all, olive tree in Bauo that is estimated to be older than 2,000 years, plus vast number of old mills, old olive groves, olive growers as well, because people are also could be considered an important source of attraction, or could be attraction as well. So in line with that, there is obvious lack of those services, especially guided olive grove visits, guided old mill tours, guided modern mill tours. There is also lack of restaurant olive experiences, thematic museum and gallery experiences focused on olive heritage. There is some workshops and creative experiences, like a workshop that is dedicated to olive oil soap production or manufacture. There are also other similar creative, but they are not so often, unfortunately. And there is also lack of other immersive, as our colleague Milena already pointed out, this immersiveness and immersive experience. Now it's a key word in terms of experience design. And there is of course a lack of digital experiences as well, because all of these offline experiences could be digitalized as well. So there are some photos. This piece of this artifact, actually it's a kind of a filter that goes under the press. So it's actually made of žukva. Žukva is a local plant, so it can be a story by itself, but it's an important piece of history when we talk about olive heritage. Just a small, some probably say micro history, you can say. Olive sector in Montenegro faces significant challenges, economic and social, especially limited income or low income. Age of olive growers is also concerning us all. Then environmental and climate challenges, temperature shocks, lack of rain, too much rain, and all those. For example, now we are in the middle of a harvest, and this rain can be a technical problem, slows the harvest and influence the quality negatively, quality of olive oil. And technological issues, especially in production, because we are in the era of robotics, artificial intelligence, and other aspects that can make the whole sector much easier. But limited income, slow technological implementation, and age of olive growers, and lack of diversification are seen as critical issues in terms of sustainable development. When we say olive tours and olive experiences, we are mainly thinking about tourism experiences or visitor experiences. And olive experiences refer to organized tourism services and products that educate and entertain. Why? For that reason, we have that agri-tainment term that we also use more often. The classic term is agri-tourism, but agri-tainment is derived from agriculture and entertainment, so it actually shows more dynamic aspect of this interdisciplinary mix of agriculture and entertainment. Anyway, the focal themes are olive oil, olives, olive heritage, and so on. Olive tours and experiences are considered to be a segment of so-called olive tourism experiences. Olive in Latin means olive, which are further segment of agritourism or agri-tainment experiences. Apart from rural context, olive experiences could be urban in their context and content. So that's quite important to point out, because when we talk about olive, mainly it's a part of rural heritage, but why not fancy restaurants, gastric olive experiences, or museum experiences, gallery experiences related to olive tours or olive topics and themes? Why not? Digitalization represents, of course, a global trend, but there could be dilemma related to introduction of these services into such traditional activities such as olive growing and olive oil production. Although conventional olive experiences are still a developing segment, it will be questionable whether it requires the digitalization and whether it requires it now. So the goal of this paper is to provide better insight into the topic and present relevant theoretical and practical arguments. This is another piece of history, old stone mill, and most important people around it. So this is not forgotten artifact, because most of our heritage, or not maybe most, but big number of those artifacts in olive heritage are unfortunately forgotten in some way. And when they are forgotten, they have high probability to disappear or to lose some of their main characteristics. Research is based on secondary data and interview findings. This is a modern piece of history with modern facility, but what's important, presentations also are possible and could be very attractive. Results: the term digital olive experience generally refers to immersive, interactive, and multimedia experiences, especially multimedia, because digitalization doesn't mean that offline or traditional experiences will disappear. They are actually could be an interesting mix, interesting hybrid, and multimedia as well, and interactive. Interactive is a must, whether it is offline or online. And immersiveness is also a must in contemporary experience design, in every business actually, not just in tourism. But unfortunately, it's often forgotten, that part, so it could be a barrier. And these experiences use technology to educate visitors about olive oil production, history, and culture. For example, it's important to mention that with interactive testing kits, it's also possible to taste real olive oil and get an immersive experience online. How it functions? It functions that you buy certain kit consisted of several samples of olive oil and other instructions, and via online, via Zoom services or other kind of online facility, we can do online and offline combination of offline and online workshop about olive oil degustation and olive oil sensory analysis. The key advantage of such a digital olive experience is the virtual and online opportunity to enjoy olive heritage from anywhere. So, for example, we are now in November, it's off season, but we are in the middle of the harvest. Harvest is technically, in theory, in tourism theory, it's an attraction. It's a tourist attraction, but we don't see much of the visits, and we don't see much of the visitors in our olive groves, so that actually could be an interesting attraction to spread or postpone the end of the tourism season, but it's not happening at the moment. So digital options could be solution for the off season in November, for example. Some businesses, such as farms, integrate traditional physical experiences, such as visiting an olive mill or grow, with digital components to create a more immersive understanding. Also, there are in Italy or in Greece, there are interactive olive visitor centers or museums that offer a digital olive oil theme park experience, utilizing videos, interactive panels and multimedia exhibits to guide visitors through the history and process of olive oil production. This is also an important guideline for our museums and visitor centers that technically should be more specialized for, especially in the coastal area, to be more focused on olive heritage that's somehow forgotten or marginalized. Other options could be VR, AR harvest experiences, olive press visits, combination of VR, AR farmhouse tours, online thematic restaurants, gastro experiences, especially online food pairing courses. That's pairing, it means food and olive oil pairing, but also pairing with wine and other or spices or other, but this is primarily food pairing, means olive oil and food pairing. Online workshops, creative tours, especially olive oil soap workshops and similar attractions. And VR, AR museums and gallery experiences focused on olive oil heritage. This is kind of conventional experience olive oil testing in the olive grove using standardized blue glasses, because blue glass is standardized for olive oil testing. Conclusion: key findings indicate that apart from a greater number of online visitors, key advantage of digital olive experiences could be greater visibility of small businesses, especially farms. Farms generally when farmers have limited visibility, also in the local and in the national context, and in the global context they are sometimes absolutely invisible. But with certain digital experiences that can help their visibility and also the other aspects of the business. Provision of entertainment experiences worldwide, significant income opportunity even in off-season, immersion of the experience, promotion of authentic heritage. Authenticity is one also very prominent and very popular aspect. We can discuss, but olive heritage is and olive aspects, tradition is one of the most authentic that we have in this area. And deeper connection with the locals, local community, and their involvement is could be well done using olive experiences and this kind of initiatives. In essence, the digital olive experience bridges traditional agricultural practices and cultural heritage with modern technology to enhance learning, efficiency, and engagement. Future prospects include the deeper integration of technologies, chatbots, more sophisticated AI-driven decision support, and advanced robotics. Overcoming barriers related to cost, digital literacy, technology implementation, especially for small farmers, is critical. Unfortunately, 95% of olive growers in Montenegro are small farmers. There is a few bigger producers, but more than 95% are actually small farmers with limited technological knowledge, financial resources, and other competencies. So implementation of technology could be a barrier, but as we know, digitalization is a global trend. Digitalization is not future, it's present. So this is something that has to be discussed and has to be solved in terms of implementation very soon, because this is technically olive sector is facing many troubles and many barriers and many obstacles, but digitalization, although it's an obstacle by itself, but it can be a chance for more sustainable development in the future. Thank you very much.